Okay, well, hey, once again, and Anissa, now we are going to watch the actual live introduction by Jan and Dean of
Okay.
Chuck Berry,
Okay.
and this is the TAMI concert in 1964,
Yes.
and we'll watch part of his performance,
Okay.
and we'll put a link in the description below so you can watch that as well. But let's check this out and see what we think.
And now, Electronovision presents your hosts for Command Performance. Two of America's most exciting young stars, Jan and Dean.
Hi, we'd like to start it off tonight with a fantastic act, the guy who started it all back in 1958, Chuck Berry.
Okay, so perfect time to stop. So that's Jan and Dean.
Okay.
Jan and Dean were also very successful back in '64 as sort of that beach sound like the Beach
Okay.
Boys
Okay.
had,
Okay.
and several others. And in fact, they recorded some of Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, some of his music. They were
Okay.
all friends with each other and friendly.
Nice.
And we will see them performing on the show. But they threw it to Chuck Berry wisely because sort of the
Yes.
grandfather of rock and
Yes.
roll
Yes.
here. But
He still looks young too.
he
Like
is young.
the Chuck Berry that I see in my mind is not young at all. Like I don't know
Oh,
that I've seen a lot of performances with him as a young man. Like how old is he? 20s, 30s,
well,
or
probably
what?
30s. What's
Okay.
surprising about Chuck Berry, though, is he was not a success in these days. He didn't have number one records on the rock and roll charts. He didn't have gold
Really?
records. Um, if I recall correctly, his first big hit was "My Dingaling," which is which is a shame. I mean, it really is
Yes.
that that's the case.
He had to go
But
go that route to actually get a number one hit.
yeah, but
Yes.
back in those days, you had not only was there a separation between the races in the radio stations, the
Yes.
record distribution, but in the concerts. So this is an integrated concert,
That's what
which
I
in
was
'64,
thinking.
right,
Yes.
was
Because I'm
pretty
like, is that
pretty
a black
groundbreaking.
man right
Yeah, it's
there?
pretty
Yes.
groundbreaking.
Yes.
On stage here, you see a bunch of performers, and this was a mix of professional dancers, a mix of modern dancers.
Okay.
You'll see that there are a couple ladies on here that are just straight up go-go dancers. They
Yes.
look like they
Yes.
came straight
With the
from the
pole.
cage.
Yes.
Yeah,
The cage. The cage. I said the pole. The
yeah.
cage. Yes. Yes.
And so, all in all, this concert is fascinating to me. But I love the shots of the audience because there was not, even though there was segregation in
Yes.
'64,
Yes.
there was not a black and white section of this concert. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
of
Yes.
the performers or of the audience.
Yes, the outfits in this. Like, does she have on a bathing
Yeah,
suit? Is
yeah,
that some people got on jackets and then she's got on a bathing suit? I
yes.
don't know about that. I don't know about that.
So we'll have to take a rabbit trail from this video at some point because on this stage, besides the performers that we're going to
Yes.
hear singing over the course of this series, there are some other famous people or future famous people
Okay.
that we'll see
Okay.
in some other video. But let's
Yes.
wrap this one up
Okay.
and be back with us as we watch more of the TAMI concert. Make
All
it a great day.
right. All right.